Alright. I'm DJ Spectre. Right now, oh, there's a reverb here. Hold on one second. I can fix that. That reverb does not need to be there. That needs to be turned off. Alright, there we go. There's the reverb. I'm going to move this down here. Alright. So, welcome to the stream, people. My name is DJ Spectre, and this is the ESL Americas Cup Open number 23. This is worth $25 to the winner. You're going to see some good play tonight. I'm going to be co-casting actually with sc2Pluto. So if you want to check out his stream, it's twitch.tv/sc2Pluto. Otherwise, you can hang out with me tonight. Give me 1 second. I got to switch out my chair because despite that's big and leathery, it also makes me look like I'm a slouching bastard. All right, so there's this. Okay, so we're listening to Monster Cat in the background, and we'll get this started shortly. Let me go ahead and find out what's going on. All right, just got to make sure. I got to get the bracket open for this. And, all right, I got to make the Skype call. And we're going to bring in Plutoski here, Captain Pluto, the Pluto of the Plutage. Where is he? There it is. We'll do a regular call. What's up, Mr. Pluto?
How's it going?
It's going all right. I just started my stream, and I've got all the new fans and fun stuff in the computer, so we'll see if we don't crash tonight. Cross your fingers. So, I gotta find a way to boost your volume here somehow. Speaker.
And I've gotta find a way to make yours less
quieter.
loud.
Yeah, sorry. I know, you and I are like the opposite. I feel bad, because I really need to get a better quality mic, because then I wouldn't feel like I have to shout all the time, but like, this thing is like cell phone quality, so... like the headphones themselves are awesome, like 7.1 surround sound, like really rich bass, but they're kind of like, when they got to the design part of the mic, they're kind of like, we're tired, can we go on vacation? That mic is, just slap that on there and ship it, you know?
Yeah. So, who do you want to cast? Let's get
Let me look at the bracket here. I'm not sure.
Let's get Dipwood. I want to cast Dipwood.
Dipwood. I just like that name. Blame Game also sounds interesting, but that's name only. Let's see who we got. Let's try to do some people we haven't done. I mean, we've seen people like Game Time and Nuclear Pro. Nothing against those players. They're actually waiting on matches. So let's see who else is here. There's a guy called Zerg Cola. That's interesting. Our friend Passer is waiting on his match. Maybe do you wanna maybe do the two Brazilians that are gonna await Passer?
You're talking about Allison and Auto Reverse?
Correct. Are they still in the chat? Have they already begun?
Allison is a Masters player.
Okay.
I'm not sure about. I think either Auto Reverse is either a High Diamond or a Masters, but I'm not sure which one.
Alright, we also have the Walrus, who actually was in last night's tournament. He actually won last night's tournament. That was awesome.
Yeah, he did. No. The Walrus actually lost.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. Sorry, he was in the finals of last night's tournament. Sorry, I was really tired last night watching that match.
Here, let me get you in this game. So Artiverse actually platinum right now.
Alright.
But his opponent is Masters, so I'm sure Auto Reverse is better than platinum. We have seen him before, so we've seen him do very well at this tournament at other tournaments. He probably just doesn't ladder on this account as much as he does on other accounts. And yeah, if you look at his profile, whoops. If you look at his profile, it says 70 games played. You can't get this. You can't get to platinum in 70 games.
Yeah, no way. Because you have to. What is it? It takes 25 or 50 to establish a proper MMR before it levels out. Is it something like that?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Something like that. So definitely, like he plays on other accounts or on other servers, right? The Europe server or something like that. That much we know.
All right, I put a little shout out in the chat for those that are waiting. I'm going to send a message to Passer just so he can at least watch who his opponent is.
Oh, looks like Fear Dragon's casting today too, so that's cool.
Yeah, we actually have quite a few actually tonight, because what is this, like Fear Dragon, you, me...
Rocket TV.
Yeah, we have quite a few.
Or Rockle TV, Rocklet. I don't know how to say it either, but
right, so I mean that's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I've been trying to sort of. We're going to cactus. No cactus. Oh, he does not want to play on cactus. Okay, so he says the first game not on cactus. I think that's what he said. I mean, because Portuguese is very, very similar to, it's like Spanish and French mixed together. So like a lot of the words like have similar consonants, but like all the vowels are swapped out of them, which is very similar to like Italian and Spanish. Like every vowel in Spanish that ends in the letter E is typically the same vowel or the same verb in Italian, but it ends in an I. So,
good luck. And we're heading into game number 1.
Best of 1 in this opening round, no less.
Yeah, best of 1. So, it is going to be, you know, do or die here. Both players, you know, have the opportunity to cheese, do something cheeky, and perhaps win a game that they did not deserve. I know that's happened to me in this tournament before, where I face some, or even in other tournaments where it's the best of 1 to start, and it's like, you know, you're trying to play safe, but someone does something incredibly cheesy, and you know that you're better than them, but you still lose.
Yeah.
And it happens, but we'll see.
All right. We'll get this started. We'll get this tournament off to a quick start here. In the lower right-hand corner, it's our red Protoss. It is currently Allison.
And in the top, the teal Protoss, also from Brazil, it is Auto Reverse.
Yeah, by the way, I'd also like to give a shout out to our 2 Portuguese streamers that are out there. I do not know their names, but if you want to see this match actually in Portuguese, we do have 2 people casting in Portuguese. What I'll do is I will try to find their names. They were the one you were trying to pronounce earlier, right?
No.
Oh, I thought that's who it was. Sorry, but yeah, there is a Portuguese stream somewhere. Just if you guys want to see this, log into StarCraft real quick and go to the NA. Sorry, the ESL NA chat, or I'm sorry, group, and then the chat there, and just ask for the stream, and someone will be helpful and point that out for you. But we want to point out that we do have some foreign language casters for this North American tournament, which is very cool.
I think it's Rocklet TV.
Rocklet TV?
Yeah. I was trying to pronounce that earlier. Okay. I don't know why I didn't remember that at first, but yeah. Rocklet, I think? Something like that. So, yeah, that's where the Portuguese stream is at.
Well, hello, Sidden Space. He's one of the people that is in my chat. Hello, Sidden Space. Welcome to the tournament. We've got a PvP for you that literally just opened, according to the timer, 2 minutes and 11 seconds ago. So we do have an early, not an early scout, but we do have a casual scout, I will say, because this is about the normal time you see it. Both guys are actually going to the wrong base to try to find their opponent, which means that those workers are probably going to appear around the same time. Looks like Auto Reverse sent his probot slightly later. I'm not sure if that'll really play into it a lot. Usually the scout is just simply to find where they're at, and then you discover what tech they're going to do. But in this, currently in this PvP, it looks like you've got a slightly, even though Allison got the earlier scout, he did get the slightly later Cyber Core. So that means that Auto Reverse might have a 4-gate a little bit quicker should he find his opponent. But I think that's going to be negated because of the slightly later scout.
Well, no, Auto Reverse is actually going for a 4-gate. And definitely, you know, he's going to chrono into Warp Gate. There we go. And his opponent, Allison, is really not going to scout this because he went in the wrong direction. A little bit lucky for Auto Reverse. This is an incredibly strong build, right? It's really a 3-gate. And you go for a fast 3-gate and you just try to bust down your opponent and then follow with another gate. Like you add a gate later, so it's like a 3-gate into 4-gate sort of thing. And that's why you can see he's staying on 1 gas. He's chronoing into Warp Gate. He's gonna have the far faster Warp Gate. If you look at the second count, it's about 50 seconds ahead, right? 50
wow!
Seconds
oh my God, that is a huge discrepancy. I mean, this is one of the longest. There are a few upgrades in the game. I mean, like obviously, like the level 2 and level 3 weapons are pretty long. But as far as like opening single upgrades, like the Banshee Ghost. What's this?
Oh my God! Allison isn't scouting in his opponent's base. He's just staying outside right now. He didn't go up into the base and see what's actually happening, so he doesn't actually know about this. Auto Reverse is going to start proxying pylons, still chronoing into Warp Gate. With all of that chrono being spent, he's actually 70 seconds ahead on Warp Gate.
Wow!
So that's
insane.
That's gonna be insane. He also has units actually. I think. Oh no, just 3 stalkers that are all going to be rallied across the map. So those 3 stalkers will get there by the time like that first warp in is happening, right? Maybe a little bit later. So he'll have six stalkers or so at his opponent's base. Actually wasted a chrono there on that warp gate because it was complete. It was completely complete. There's gonna be 1 photon overcharge, right? And you can always get 1 photon overcharge down. There's a DT shrine on the way for Allison, so that's gonna be the saving grace.
When behind Dark Shrine, I don't think it quite counts yet, but I do like Dark Templar.
He didn't really know about it, but the Dark Templar are gonna be great at holding against this aggression because there is no detection. So
yeah, there is in fact no robo. Good call. Yes, good call out.
Yeah, definitely. Allison's going to have a little bit of time here with that photon overcharge, where he's going to wait until he gets that DT shrine up, warp in maybe 1 across the map, 1 at home, and he will be perfectly safe here. So Auto Reverse actually, did a great build, was not scouted, but at the end of the day, I mean, he doesn't have detection. So we'll see where this ends up going. If you micro properly, there's a possibility. Oh, the mothership. Oh,
he does manage to get the photon overcharge off, but that thing was 2-shotted. That was amazing.
So there's going to be 1 DT across the map and 1 DT at home. Exactly like I said earlier. So this DT for Allison in the main is going to do so much damage to the probe line.
Yeah, and unfortunately Auto Reverse sees this, but he's like, I gotta do something here. I'm getting picked away. All right, we're going in for the kill of the Nexus and the pylon. And actually, there's an Artosis pylon here that is gonna stop the Robo from finishing. Holy cow, he basically neuters all of Allison's production. He has a single DT here that's got to work it out. In the meantime, the DT that he sent all the way up to the north, as you called, has wiped out all the probes, and Auto Reverse is like, huh?
There's no probes left. That's the problem with this build. If your opponent opens DTs, and this is why I do the DT build that Allison did in this game. It's because if your opponent goes for a fast 3-gate, you basically just auto-win. If your opponent goes for a proxy Stargate, you're in trouble. If he goes for fast robo, you're in trouble. But if he opens anything else, you're in a good spot.
All right, hang on 1 second here. My thing disconnected for some reason. It's been doing this when I was doing the Legacy of the Void July 4th stream yesterday with Future Medic. I had all kinds of derpy doodleness. Yeah. And so it actually cost us our run on. There we go. And by the way, thank you, Sid in Space and Passer, for not screwing up, or no, letting me screw up. And I did actually manage to switch my my viewer back over to full screen, because the first part of that cast, guess what? Not full screen.
Yeah.
That was really extra not fun, and I'm gonna put that back there. So anyway, I made a thing, multi-twitch. Passer, what is this madness you've created here? Holy cow! Have you seen this multi-twitch thing? You can view multiple. I've never seen this.
Yeah, the multi-twitch thing is awesome. You can actually watch both streams at once.
Wow. Passer, you are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, we were using that last night too. So that was the first time I've been introduced to it. It's actually pretty cool. Let me go ahead and probably send that over to Twitch and to Sid in Space and probably the ESL chat as well. Yo, you should. I'm
gonna copy that to the ESL admin chat right now. Give me 1 hot second.
Yeah, it's actually a really great resource because you can watch multiple Twitch streams at once. You can probably only listen to one at a time, unless you're a crazy person. But you can also chat in all the chats too, which is great.
Dude, that's seriously you know what? That is that's streaming for people with ADD. I dig it. Like literally, you know what's funny? I say this, but I don't know if I don't think you can see this unless you watch my stream. But I was joking with someone earlier today about how I go hard, and then what happened was I opened my Coke can and look what it says on there. It says bro, so I'm gonna bro hard tonight. And you know what? If there's no, we gotta do like at some point a video call here, and we'll start doing virtual fist bumps or something completely silly. But let me turn the monster cat back on. How's your weekend been, by the way?
Not bad so far. So far pretty good. And Home Story Cup was awesome.
Yeah, I had lots of running around to do. All I got to do is catch some of the pieces of it here and there. And unfortunately, every time I would tune in, it was like the in-between parts. And I'm like, really? Like, I love In Control, but I can only handle so much of that desk before I want to see actual StarCraft, as opposed to people like twiddling their thumbs filling time, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because they got to do it. But like, I would call it and they're like, GG! And I'm like, damn it, I missed it again.
And they did end up casting a 8-person free-for-all at the end there with all.
Oh, they did? Oh, that's awesome.
With all the people that didn't make it to the finals. It was actually great. One of my favorite parts of the map of the tournament, and it was super fun. And also other parts of it, like Rain ended up winning it. Spoiler alert. Rain versus Sox3. It was actually a really good series, but the casting in games was actually also just super fun, right? They didn't try to like be all serious about it. It's like super laid back, like making jokes. Yeah, like there's one game where they didn't get the introductions done for the first 7 minutes of the game. Like they were trying to do the introductions and it just kept taking forever. Which player won? I think Billy won.
Hold on, Billy. Oh, in the. Let's see here. Let's go back to this.
I think we're gonna be casting Cuddle Bear versus Billy.
Cuddle Bear versus Billy. Okay, if you want, that's fine. I'm okay with that. By the way, I did not realize that Sinestro also speaks Portuguese, and he happens to be in. Well, he's got. Was it?
He's one of the admins.
Oh no! Yeah. That's awesome. Like I seriously want him though to change one of those I's to an E, so it'd be Sinestro because that's the main bad guy in the Green Lantern. So that's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. Like the trying to think of a really great match. Like the Joker to your Batman, like Sinestro to Green Lantern. I was trying to think of like the Avengers, and I'm like, they don't really have one. Like Iron Man kind of like had Ironmonger, but like they killed him off in the first movie. But like throughout the series, he actually was a big threat. And now I wanted to say Metallo, but Metallo is actually an enemy of Superman's, not even in the same comic book stream, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, it is Billy, by the way.
Billy. We've casted. I thought we casted Billy before. There's Mr. Stork. Oh, by the way, I'd like to say a shout out to Mr. Stork. Mr. Stork has, he's actually one of the people I met through ESL. He's on my friends list. So good luck, Mr. Stork, in your tournament versus Expired or Stimpacker.
Good luck, because Expired, we actually cast Expired yesterday. He's a very good Protoss player. Amazed is his in-game name.
Okay.
Little bit of a rage quit last night after losing to the Walrus, but he's actually a very solid player. So
yeah, I've actually lost to him. I lost to him in the Platinum Diamond tournament last week, I think.
Oh.
He's the one who knocked me out.
German player.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he's the one who knocked me out. Either way, but yes, very like no. I mean, he might have rage quit against someone else, but he did not BM me, and so my only experience I can relate to is the one that I had with him, and I thought he was a gentleman and a scholar. So let me refresh this bracket here so it updates the stuff. Good luck, by the way. Good luck, Passer 2300. Hopefully you'll sneak one out. Just put detection up. Remember, DTs. Anti-DTs.
Yeah.
So I know this is not going to come through for another 90 seconds. By the way, I have my delay in place. You'll be happy to know I don't have to restart my stream again like I did last potato stream.
Potato stream is potato.
Oh, dude. Like, seriously, like when Future Medic and I were trying to Archon Protoss, we were doing so terrible. I was just like, do you want to like Archon Potatoes again? Because we're doing freaking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, we were on like 2-base economy forever, and she's like, well, do you think we should expand? I'm like, yeah, we should have expanded a while ago, but however, you left me in charge of macros, so we did that.
Yeah, once again, for note to future people playing with DJ,
you macro, give me the units, we're fine. Except for I did accidentally lose the entire army when we were playing Terran, because I didn't realize that he had cares. And you know what, maybe I don't know this, and maybe it's been tweaked or something, but do Thors no longer get splash damage with their air attack?
They do.
Really? Because then there must be a bug, because I'm telling you, I was fighting a bunch of Void Rays, and I had my Thors targeting 3 different Void Rays, right? And only those 3 Void Rays were taking damage. And so, I don't know if it's a bug or it's not implemented. I know they got rid of their, like, high impact, like, that alternative mode that no one uses. But, like, I must be going nuts, because we went against Air Toss, and we had Marines, Vikings, and Thors. And that is the perfect combination to destroy Tempest, Void Ray, and the few carriers they had. And I'm telling you, like, the Void Ray army he had just annihilated us.
Interesting. Let me look at the legacy of the Void.
If anyone's got like any information as to if the Thor is just got a bug in it because it's the beta in Legacy of the Void, or if they removed the splash damage or maybe greatly reduced it of some kind, like let me know, because that was a surprise to me, because I don't usually go Thors, but versus like Mass Void Ray, that's what you do. You make Marines and Thors. So but those of you watching the stream, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Pluto appreciates you. And if you don't like my annoying voice, go over to Pluto's stream. His voice is much more soothing.
Well, you're gonna hear both of our voices on either stream, so.
Yeah, but you can just turn mine down on your stream. But follow us both, please, please. Pluto enjoys the follows. I enjoy the follows. And even if you don't want to follow us, do it anyway, because we're casting the ESL, and that will give ESL some love as well.
Here we go. We're loading up into Terraform.
All right. Am I not in this match?
Let me go ahead and get you in here. It's just a game.
I was gonna say, because you're loading up into it, I'm like,
Wait, did he... Our opponent declined.
What? Why would it decline? I'm in the chat.
No. The Billy declined.
Oh, okay.
I think we got you in here.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, you're in here. We just need Billy.
All right. Oh, you know what? Oh, I forgot also. I'd like to thank, I believe Expired also gave me a follow on Twitch. I wanted to give a shout out to him also. I forgot to do it. He messaged me in game here real quick. So, but I wanted to say thank you guys. I'm sorry. I'm working on getting like the, not the Nightbot, the, oh, I can't think what it is. It's something else. It begins with an N also, but it gives you, it basically uses your Dropbox to go ahead and give you like all kinds of follow alerts and Patreon alerts and things like that. I've got to get that set up. So I have to keep refreshing a page on my webpage to do that. So I apologize. Pluto has the nice follow setup system. So if you click on that, he'll know right away. But for me, it's gonna take a few seconds. So please don't think I'm being like a punk about this. I'm not. It just takes a while for me to find out.
DJ being a punk about it.
Sorry, it's like, yo, follow me, but no love back. I am not like that. I mean, I guess I could if I'm really, really drunk and in a bad mood, but...
Yeah, and I don't know if that thing is working yet. The what is it called? CLR browser or whatever.
Well, it's hold on. What was the one I was thinking of? I haven't seen this. No, okay. So yeah, I was reading about that, but again, like I was just looking at what options I have. Like I didn't get a chance to look at that one. What is that one? Is that like a Chrome plugin?
For which one?
For notification alerts.
On like what we were talking about when someone follows you and stuff.
Yeah. The CLR browser thing. I thought, isn't it like a Chrome plugin?
It's one of the Night Dev projects. So the people who made Nightbot.
Yeah. Okay. That's, what is the other one? I'm trying to think of. This is gonna drive me nuts. Here we go. What is
There's
the
a
name
couple
of,
of really cool ones.
Well, there is Night Dev, the follower alert, but that one you have to use Dropbox, I think. And then we have Twitch alerts, which only does certain things. But I think the Night Dev one can actually, like, it can do everything if you give it the right information.
Oh.
And then there's something that's sub alert that only looks at subscribers, which I don't have yet because I haven't become a partner. So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's long run stuff. Eventually, when we all get the Twitch partner, then we can mess around with all these things. But
that is true. Let's see here. But yes.
Oh, Billy just had the wrong account linked to his ESL.
Oh, okay.
And Cuddlebear actually did have that same problem earlier. I remember talking to him about, or he was talking about it in chat, where he had that wrong account signed up and almost didn't get signed up. Had to talk to an admin to make sure that he got in here. So yeah, the last minute signups. I know that feel.
Because, like, literally, you're like, you see the countdown, and it's like, you have 5, 4, 3, and you're like, come on, I need an admin to approve me, please! And then what's the very next thing out of your mouth? You're kind of like, why does it say, next match is to be determined? Duh, what is going on? So, like, you scream for their help, and then you're like, then you start bitching at them.
Yeah. Oh, so Sin Space is Mr. Stork. Okay, I got it now.
Okay.
I'm on top of things.
Yeah, all over that?
I'm all over that.
Yeah, all over that. You know what? I probably should. Hold on, let me do this. I need to open your chat or your stream just to see the chat so that I can.
Just have the multi Twitch
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna do that. So we paused you and your neat little Portal-looking background. I got my girlfriend into playing Portal, by the way, so now I see
really?
this like all the time. Yeah. Well, it's not an action game. Like it's just a puzzle game, right? But but it's done in like first-person mode.
Yeah.
So she can handle that. But like if I told her, hey, look, let's go play some Unreal Tournament, I think she'd just spaz out and start crying.
Yeah, Unreal. Well, yeah, she probably would. But Portal is actually a really fun game, and it's like really like open to a lot of people, right? It's like not a lot of like shooting or anything, and it's really funny. Like it's like a movie. It's sort of like an entertainment process where you just go through the entire stages, and Gladys is really funny, and you know, funny things happen, especially in Portal 2 where you have your little companion thing, and the companion.
I won't give away. The companion thing is hysterical. We can't give that away, you know, because
I
that's sort of like the crux
it,
of the joke for that thing.
I also haven't finished it, so.
Oh, by the way, like I will say that here's the one thing I liked about Portal, and this is not spoiler. This has got to do with mechanics, so I'm not going to spoil anything. Okay. So the first Portal was built in the Half-Life 2 engine originally. So actually, when you load up Portal, you'll notice that your executable actually says HL2.exe if you launch the first Portal, even if it's Steam purchased. So it uses a Half-Life game to play it, right? However, some of the puzzles require like fast twitch motions, like you'll jump through a portal and now you're flying through the air and you have to quickly aim at exactly the right wall and then like shoot that wall so that when you fly through it, you end up going through that portal instead. So I didn't like that, and I'm like, some parts of that, like, it's not very puzzle-like because it's relying on your fast twitch, quick aim, you know, good hand-eye coordination piece. Portal 2 went completely the other direction. There's actually a puzzle in there that you could solve with some fast twitching where you shoot yourself off of a high ramp and then you put the portal below you and it ejects you into the right, so that you fly across the map. They actually have like an invisible barrier where you can't do that, where if you do that, you fly across and you think you can land on this platform, but like an invisible wall stops you and you just fall down to your death.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool things. I'm like halfway through the game. I have it on Xbox, unfortunately, not on PC, but still a lot of fun. I know, right? It's like
Pluto!
PC Master Race rip in
Pluto!
peace.
Oh no, son.
I didn't. If I would have bought it on
disappoint.
Okay, to be fair, my dad's brother works at Microsoft. Used to work at Microsoft back when Portal 2 came out. He doesn't work there anymore, but he used to work at Microsoft, so he'd get us a bunch of Xbox games and stuff. And that's the only reason I have console things. But everything else I do on PC.
Alright, I'll forgive you because you're like, you know, free-ish. Alright, I get it. Cool. It's free. And so you're like, well, I'll just buy the stuff for it so that, you know, it looks like I appreciate it. So that when the new one comes out, I get that free one also.
Here we go. Trying to link this account to my ESL page. I don't know what value means. Billy's having troubles here trying to get the thing to work, and the admins are helping him out. So, huge shout out to the admins. It can be kind of hard to get this thing to work, and I hate like the ESL website. If it's your first time, you can definitely get stuck there. So, definitely huge shout out to the admins for getting everybody to be, you know, sort of doing the right things here. Is Top and Arthur on the same side of the bracket?
Oh no.
That is the question.
Hold on. Where's Arthur? Hold on. No, you know what? I don't. Oh, he doesn't go by Arthur here. What does he go by? What's his ESL name?
I
thought he went by Arthur SC or something. I don't see him here.
He was in chat earlier, but I don't see him in here either. Okay, maybe he's not in chat. This is Sad Arthur for those of you who are not entirely sure who we're talking about. Sad Arthur from Korea, the top GM player, pro gamer. This is him. And yeah, I don't see him, so
yeah,
very
you know,
possibly not.
A lot of times he's actually because of being up so late, a lot of times he's got to bow out in the early rounds, or you know, like, you know, or he's like, come on, can we get this moving, you know, blah 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 blah, so I can finish the tournament. And so I applaud him for actually coming out and, you know, doing that. I do occasionally feel bad for the people he beats because then he basically vacates it, and maybe one of those might have gone on and tried it. But you know what? Hey, we don't care. As long as you're coming out and participating in the tournament, as long as we get that above like the 50-person mark, then you know what? You get $50 at the end. And in some countries, the $50 US due to the exchange rate actually comes out to you know, a fairly sizable sum, for example. So even if you guys are only like middling, come out anyway. It helps the community. It increases the It increases the prize pool for those, you know, who are able to win it. You know, and who knows, maybe, you know, you can cheese your way to victory, you know, if you're a bronze or silver player, if you've got that one cheese mastered, you know, who knows? There's a lot of people who cheese their way all the way to, like, Diamond League, you know, without having to learn any other builds. You know, they're just mega 2-racks masters, you know, mega ling bling all in. Whatever you got, let's do it, you know?
Round of 32 map, I believe, is,
Let's see, what's it say in the channel?
I think it is Terraform.
Round of 32 is Terraform or Veto starting ABAB based on the higher rank. So Terraform's fine. This is the first time, by the way, this is the first time we've actually casted. No, last night you guys did the new maps, right? Yeah. So this is the first Open that has had the new maps for the current season.
It is. Yeah.
You know what? By the way, I don't think, you know what, Pluto? I don't think I ever made you a moderator in my chat. I don't think I ever did. What the heck? Why would I not do that? What? Yeah, I'm slacking here, bro. Let's see here. I gotta go in here and click on his name.
Top is actually Korean, not Chinese, I think. But yeah, definitely, he's a pro gamer. Currently playing for Invasion Esports, I believe. Oh, you can go ahead and leave that lobby, by the way, because Billy and Tuttle there, unfortunately, still going with. All
right, I got a quick question here. Since I'm absolutely terrible, if I OP a user, that makes them a moderator, right?
Yes.
All right, that's what I want to do.
Yes.
All right, you've been OP'd. Hey, by the way, Pluto, do me a favor. I need to actually make you a mod in mine. Could you just quickly like log in to my chat? Because you don't show up. Do you show up as a viewer here? Oh, you do. Okay, can you just type something in my chat so that I can, there we go. There we go. Swag. It's like your catchphrase, brah. I like it.
Swag.
All right, I'm also going to go ahead and follow Midget since I haven't done that yet. Midget, you got to follow. I followed you. I did not know that you had a twitchy twitch, but now you got it. You got to follow now. Let's see here. Oh, I just found out my girlfriend did not win the lottery. I was really thinking she had it this time. No, I feel bad. I mean, she was so close. I mean, you know, she picked one of the 6 numbers.
Oh, there is more than one top. Okay, so there's actually two pro gamers named Top, a Korean one and a Chinese one. That's hilarious. Wait, let me go ahead and check everybody's match history.
I just told Midget, I'm like, if you ban anyone without purpose, I will destroy you to Midget. Sorry. You guys can't see us. What it is so the ESL admins have a group chat that us casters can also be part of so that we can sort of coordinate who's going to be able to cast and who's available for these weekend tournaments, because that's one of the big things that ESL wants to emphasize and to make sure that they have proper casting so that they can get the exposure. And plus also, we all like casting. We're all nerds for whatever game we play, whether it's Counter-Strike or Smite or StarCraft or whatever. You know, try to show the love of your fellow community by casting those tournaments. If your respective tournament group, such as the ESL or others, will let you do it. Give love back. Esports needs all your help because, you know, we're still competing against like things, and I know it sounds silly, like the NFL and like ESPN and things like that. So it's actually a big deal. So the bigger we can get, if we can take over the entire internet, that would be great. That might take a while, but we can do it one cast at a time.
And by the way, Angry Midget, yes, we are having a master race discussion. Totally, you know, just, you know, completely trashing PC or consoles, because PC's all the way, right?
Yeah, except for you did say you're playing Portal on Xbox 360, so I don't know about this. I mean, are you sure you're not really like a Russian defector and you're actually like a what is it, like a spy, you know, for the motherland?
Well, I mean, Portal isn't a game where it's really all that graphics intensive that you really need to be playing on PC.
No,
but
that's true.
but yeah, definitely I play basically every other game on PC. Maybe I guess Smash I play on Wii or whatever. But
Oh yeah, Super Smash Brothers.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
so can someone? So, okay, so like I follow the fighting scene, but I don't follow Smash Brothers. Like I follow like the Mortal Kombat, the Killer Instinct, and like the Street Fighter 4. But so there's Smash Brothers Melee and Smash Brothers Brawl. What is the difference? Are they just like older games versus newer games or something?
Well, there's another one out now called Smash 4.
Okay,
so there's 3 of them. So Melee was the original, or Melee wasn't the original, but Melee was like the GameCube Smash, right? Incredibly popular, very, very balanced, and used in the competitive scene. And then Brawl came out, and Brawl is a slightly slower game, better graphics, and they changed around the characters a lot, and it's a little bit less balanced. And it's just a little bit of a slower game, so people think it's not as competitive. It's like Brood War versus SC2, except imagine SC2 was like not as good.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
So Brawl came out and people were like complaining like it's better, but like it's less competitive. And so like Melee was still used in the competitive scene, but Brawl was a lot more fun, I guess, just to play with friends or whatever. So like that's sort of how when somebody made Project M, which is like a balanced version of Brawl, sort of, but it's like Melee and it introduces the Melee characters. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but that's sort of like the gist of it. It's a much more balanced version, and like it has all the Melee characters as well, and I think that's also pretty competitive.
So I got a question. So
and now Smash 4 is out. So
yeah, and that's the thing. So like I know that like there's a gaming lounge here called Ignite, and they have Super Smash Brothers. I think Melee for Wii U, because you can like rent the consoles and they're all like modded out and everything. So, so that's actually kind of fun. But hold on a second. We don't have a game yet. Let's find some people.
Oh, Cute. We're gonna be casting Cute versus Top.
Okay.
They're doing vetoes. The problem is Top doesn't really know the English names for the maps.
Oh, so this is one of the Portuguese. This is the where's it at? Where's Top?
He's Chinese.
Oh, sorry. So what is it? So it's Cute. Is he? Oh, there he is. I see it. Cute versus Top. Okay. Sorry, I was typing in Cute. For some reason, I literally put COOT. Like there is not enough bro apparently in this Coca-Cola to wake me up.
There's not enough bro in this Coca-Cola.
And for those of you guys who just joined the stream, I'm not kidding you. My Coca-Cola says, like, share your Coke with your bro. It says your bro, but like nowadays it's kind of like, dude, bro-faced beers, yeah. Like I just think of like guys that have got like their shoulders like up to here. You guys you can't see this, Pluto, but I've like done like the whole like, do you even lift, bro? Like look. So
hold on, let me get you in this party.
But yeah, so we've started like 4 tangents. I guess the last thing I want to say about Portal 2 was that, so they didn't rely on, like I said, on any of the fast switch stuff, but what they did do, and I don't know, like, can you tell me sort of where in the game you are? Because the next part might end up being a spoiler, and I'm gonna have to phrase it differently if based on
No, just don't say it, because
okay.
I don't think I can, All
right, then I'll phrase it differently. What they did was the mechanics require you to, like, so the portal gun can actually zoom a little bit now in Portal 2. It's got like a zoom mechanic on it, and you're gonna need that for certain things. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I need to zoom on a portal gun? I mean, I just like red portal, blue portal, done. Like problem solved, right?
Yeah.
But no, apparently you need to do it because there's one part where like literally I looked around for friggin' ever, and then I finally gave up. I mean, my girlfriend was kind of like massaging my shoulders and like, calm down, you know. And then finally I said screw it, and I YouTubed it. And when I saw what I needed to do or where I needed to like put my portals, I was like, really. And I literally just hit save and quit. That's what I did. I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna do it now that I know what happened. I'm bad. Like, how did I not see that? You know? So, when
Looks
behind
like
Dark Shrine, day 9. Yes.
When behind Dark Shrine, day 9.
This
Definitely
is actually helpful, this
100%.
multi-twitch, because I got your chat open in the multi-twitch, and then I have mine that I show on my own screen open on the left, so I can watch both. Passer, I don't know how you found this, but you must be a bigger dork than all of us because you've just made nerds in the world happy.
Yeah, he definitely has. I had this giant "When Behind Dark Shrine" poster above my, and we reference it all the time, but yeah, I have this giant "When Behind Dark Shrine" poster above my monitors, and whenever I'm behind, I just look up at it and pray to the Protoss gods that I can pull something out with my DTs. And I have had instances. It's like maybe out of 10 games you win like 1 or 2 of them where you're behind and you go Dark Shrine. But you do win those 1 or 2. You snipe the Overlord, or Overseer, or the Observer, or whatever is doing detection, and then you just try to kill things. It's a little bit harder versus Terran, but because all they do is scan. But definitely, Dark Shrine is the comeback from behind option there.
Speaking of things, I'm going to go off on a slightly different direction. This just occurred to me, because Pluto and I both usually have our face on our stream 24/7. I was curious what you guys happen to think of that. I don't have the slick little green screen effect, mainly because I don't have anything green behind me to do that with. But do you guys actually enjoy being able to see the person doing the casting on the screen, or do you prefer to just listen to a disembodied head? I'm curious. Mainly because of the fact that I don't know if I should put it on mine. Pluto, I think, is kind of innocuous because you don't have to look at, like, his cat and the couch behind him and all that other crap like you do in mine. But I'm just curious. So post in one of our chats what you guys think of that. Also, if you have any suggestions, such as volume levels, like annoyances, like if DJ should be muted on Pluto's stream, those things, like, let me know. And we'll...
Should DJ be muted on DJ's stream? Because...
Well, that's kind of rude.
The thing is, I've heard both before. Like, some people are like, no, you're casting, you're not playing, you should take your head off. And some people are like, no, it's super cool. Like, if you have a green screen, just do it. So I don't know. Like, that is something that you should put in chat so I can figure out, like, what we should do.
What's really funny of the whole thing is that you should, like, on your green screen for when you're casting, you should have, like, some funny video playing in the middle of it, like, see if people notice. Like, you'll have something like I don't know, like horses fornicating or something strange. I mean, like not real. Just like something completely off the wall and unrelated, and then see if people notice, and they're like, "We're watching the StarCraft tournament, but is that cow giving birth? Like, what's going on back there?" It's like
no, that's happening directly behind me, directly in the background. But meanwhile, we should probably introduce our players. Spawning in the top. This is the Tastosis effect, guys. I'm sorry. And if you were watching Home Story Cup, this is exactly what happened right up until the finals, so I do not feel bad anymore about this.
Okay,
spawning in the top, it is our Protoss player. Playing for Nocturne, it is cute.
And sitting on the other side of the map, as the thankfully not pink Zerg player, it is Top.
Angry Midget says console's not good for anything. I've heard they were really good paperweights.
You know what? They're actually... You know what's funny? Okay, so this is a really, really quick story. What was it? I don't know. One of the branches of the military bought a whole bunch of PlayStations and linked them together as a computing cluster because you know what graphic cards are really good at doing? Floating point computations, which is what CPUs can't do. So they're doing, like, all kinds of simulations and stuff, and, it's like... All right, so, you've got a computing cluster of PlayStation 3s to go. But, anyway, so we do see cool. A pool first, but that's my random effect.
Very fast pool, very fast pool. And there's going to be a little bit of Ling aggression, I believe. He's getting a very fast speed once again, pulling off gas. So, probably going to start speed. He has 100 gas, probably going to start speed here. He might have forgot it. Yeah, no, he just started speed. So, Cute being a little cute with this pylon. Just blocking that expansion, but I wouldn't be surprised if Top just expands in the back or just doesn't expand. Like, he's building a bunch of Lings on purpose to do some aggression here. So, and he does have speed on the way very fast. So I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to do something here.
And this pylon, despite the blockage here, does not scout these Lings coming out because of the fact that the vision range is just barely out of range of the ramp. Also, something else, and this is the danger about Top expanding here. If these rocks right here between his natural and his main get tackled, you can really be screwed for Zerg, because then your reinforcements from one base can't get in. I actually pulled that trick off with some with some Banshees there, and all the guys' Queens got trapped back there. So the Lings go up, they realize that there's a full wall off here. He's not going to be able to do much of anything. You know, they've got a pylon here, but the Queen is going to eventually take this thing down. You know, if Warp Gate finishes in that time, which it's not even being researched, he'd be able to use this to warp in, but unfortunately, the pylon's just going to become cannon fodder and just a delaying tactic for the Zerg third at this point.
Top is going to go ahead and work on the back rocks. There are two entrances into this into the base here, and Cute probably knows about it. He's actually coming over with the Mothership Core, and he's going to try to stop this. But the rock's already almost a fourth of the way down. The Mothership Core actually doing pretty significant damage here against the Lings. But if he gets it down, then it doesn't matter. But Cannon's on the way at that base, so even if he does knock down these rocks, he's not really going to be able to get much done here. Meanwhile, the Protoss takes the lead in terms of probe count.
Yeah, the Protoss, I mean, sorry, Cute here is doing very, very well. He does have this like pylon right next to his ramp that's outside of the base. That's actually good because he can wall off completely and still go ahead and make pylons elsewhere on the map that allows him to, you know, get his units out of his base without being completely trapped. However, he's going to need a Warp Gate to do that. And Warp Gate has just started. It's only 20 seconds into it, and he's not chrono boosting it because he's focusing on chrono boosting out workers for his natural.
And it looks like Top went over here to try to work on the other rocks. Also gets scouted by the Mothership Core. It's going to get a couple kills for itself. It's already at 8 kills. 8 Lings have gone down to that Mothership Core. So the Lings are going back and forth between the rocks, just trying to work on both of them at the same time. And that's actually pretty cool by Top. He's going back and forth, making sure that the Mothership Core has a lot to worry about. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, chronoing out Warp Gate now, getting a couple more gateways, getting more gases in his main, and you know, getting cannons in all of his bases to stay safe here. I think he's in a good spot. I think Cute is in a good spot. He has a sentry here to make sure that the Lings aren't going crazy with the rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's scouting, and he's got the Mothership Core on patrol between the other two. And so if you zoom all the way out, you can actually see this very, very long path the Zerglings have to take. But with the sentry and the Mothership Core there to defend it, basically the only thing that would happen is he'd have to go in with either a couple of roaches that can withstand a few more hits from the Mothership Core and the laser, I guess, eyeball of the sentry. But I don't know. Does he have? Where's that? Does he have the Baneling? He does not have a Baneling nest, so he's not going to be able to break down this wall quite as easily. The Banelings would be able to help against this wall with the one cannon, but he doesn't have that nest. It's not going to be effective.
Cuddle Bear says, "Good news, Pluto. He almost has it. There's a chance, a small chance, DJ, that by the time we finish this game, Billy figures out his ESL account problems, and we might actually be able to go ahead and cast Cuddle Bear versus Billy after all."
It is. It's a very small chance, and you know what the thing is that you got to remember, the DPS on Battle.net is very, very difficult. This Battle.net 2.0 now has a ridiculously high DPS, and it really works against even the Korean players. I hear that it literally is, you know, it's even better than the Dark Shrine in the sense that if you want to defeat a Korean player, it's best just to disconnect him from the game, and Battle.net 2.0 can do that pretty effectively.
Well, the rocks have gone down here, and the sentries are actually a little bit trapped. There's, I think, too many sentries here to really... Oh, forces out a bunch of force fields, though. Really don't want to be spending that much energy on the sentries, so you know, also fast. But there's a lot of gateways out, and now a Twilight Council being started. So we see that Cute is gonna go up to this composition of probably Blink Stalkers and sentries, and probably start mixing in a couple of Immortals after he gets that Robo.
You know, the thing is, the Immortals may not be as effective as you want because there's no Roach-born anywhere here.
There isn't, yeah.
And he just went straight for a Hydralisk den, actually, in the main, which is where he's got his lair at right now. So, I mean, he's done a very unique thing where he's like, you know what, I'm going to skip the Roaches, which don't work really anyway against Protoss because of the anti-armor that is the... Stalker Robo, and so he's just flooding these Lings in here, and there's only like a few sentries, which they do get a really nice force field off. Actually, incredible force fields.
Very, very nice force fields, trapping the majority of the things in there. And yeah, we see a lot of Zerglings do this. It's sort of the new meta. Not a Zerg. A lot of Zergs do this. It's the new meta, sort of, where you go straight for the Ling Hydra composition, and it's much more effective against this Stalker Sentry force than when you mix in Roaches. So we see Blink started. He's probably going to start mixing in Stalkers now, and just get a ton of Blink Stalkers. But yeah, I don't know. I like the Protoss position here. He still has a lot of probes. He's basically in the same. Finally, Top is getting a Roach Warren, but I don't think he's going to be mixing in too many Roaches. Oh, he is going to get Burrow. Okay, so maybe that is a strategy here. When you burrow under the force field, you can definitely get right on top of the army. But
it is, because that's the only reason that, I'm not to cut you off, but the only reason why you would get Burrow in this case, because there are cannons and detection, is simply to avoid the force fields. And that's something that Pluto pointed out, and you really got to keep in mind, guys, that Burrow for Roaches, along with Tunneling Claws, will be very, very helpful with the force field play, but he won't be able to use the Roaches for the harassment that you normally get the Tunneling Claws for in the first place. And that's because he's got a cannon planted at each base. In the meantime, looks like these armies may meet in the middle. They're going to go ahead and get a quick a quick vision from the Zelnaga Watchtower here, and he will see the composition of the army. He will see that it's light on Zealots, but heavy on Sentry Stalker. However,
this is an interesting third base for Cute. He chooses to take this one rather than the third that's in his what we would assume to be his natural. So he's actually sort of just expanding backwards here, and that's okay. A lot of Roaches being mixed in now for Top because he is going for that Burrow upgrade, and working on his own back rocks to take his own fourth base now, and the fourth base for the Zerg player in the position of where you'd expect the third base to be or where the third base is for a Pro player. But we're gonna see this composition out of Cute, where it's just a bunch of sentries, a lot of stalkers, probably gonna start mixing in immortals now.
Well, I think part of the reason he was kind of forced to take this expansion because he built this wall in early defense, and short of either knocking down these pylons or having a difficult time to reinforce this, he decided to take one where he could get to it, and Top here had already sort of knocked down this wall, and now it looks like these two armies are starting to move out. The road I thought really Cute was going to go in, Top was going to go in, but no, he didn't.
I thought so too. Cute is actually going to mix in Colossus because those are very good against this Hydra composition. So I don't know. I like this play. I think Immortals are good and all, but I don't know. I like Colossus too. So Cute is getting a little bit of supply block here. He did kill a couple Overlords in the middle of the map, supply blocking Top, but Top definitely, I think, has much larger army supply now, and Cute is going to rely on a lot of really good force fields here to stay alive. Meanwhile, Top is going to come up here and try to do some damage at this wall. There's a couple of sentries here to wall off, but
he doesn't get the initial wall. He gets the couple of the Roaches pinned, but he's still got high ground vision, and unfortunately, they're going to go ahead and pick away at this. He gets one. The Cybercore is dangerous now. Cute has to recall but brings his entire army back, and the Hydras in the force field, the force fields prevent the Hydras from getting up there from actually picking off the Colossus, the one solitary Colossus, but there's no detection here, and so these four Roaches just simply chill out here, and they're like, alright, shh, nothing to see here.
That's very interesting that there's no detection. Looks like Top is gonna go ahead and try to do some damage, and I think Cute is gonna figure it out as soon as that cannon he put down doesn't go down. He's gonna figure it out. Looks like not a very good engagement for our Zerg player here, getting force fielded out by a lot of force field. There's just so many sentries here. Blinks forward even to pick off some of the Hydras there. And the Roacher's actually unburrowing in the main. Gonna do a little bit of damage. Takes out the cannon. There's a Colossus here. I think Colossus will beat 4 Roaches, especially with large warpins here. And he did rebuild that Cybercore. So finally these 4 Roaches getting taken out, but not before the entire army being called back there. So Top is going to try to take advantage of this and go and do some damage at the third base while the entire army is in the main.
And the other thing is that knocking this down installed his upgrade. He had level 3 ground weapons being upgraded in this forge that is now unpowered. So he really needs to bring a pro back over here to go ahead and do that. But there is an engagement going over here on the left side that gets pushed back. He does try to burrow the Hydralisk, but the War of the Worlds lasers clips its head off before it's able to do that.
Now, all of a sudden, I really like Hugh's position. He has a really nice composition. It's very hard for the Zerg player to engage, and Top is going up to Vipers. So Vipers is the correct response, right? Vipers is very, very good against this composition because you can Blinding Cloud or you can pull the Colossus. Either or, it's really great, and it makes your engagements a lot easier. And like this is the sort of army composition for Protoss that's very bad against Vipers. However, he does have Templar. So if he can feed back the Vipers, he'll be in a decent spot. But only if he can do that.
Yes, that is true. And by the way, am I missing? Where the heck is it? Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. Vipers don't require a spire, do they? They just require an infestation.
No, just a hive. They require a hive.
Oh, they require a hive. All right. For some reason, I thought they required because it's like all flying units come out of.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's a sort of. most people do build like a spire and then go up the hive. So I can understand.
For. You're right. The build order was I don't know, not what I was used to seeing. But then again, I am the world's worst Zerg player. Like literally, look at this. I am a foam league. Yes, that I said foam league Zerg player.
Both players just going right past each other in terms of maps. Okay, finally, the Protoss reveals himself on creep, and Pop is getting ready here with some with the Viper. So a lot of hallucinations here. So let's see if he gets.
If the Viper accidentally pulls the hallucinate. Oh no, he does have an overseer. He'll be able to tell that's not a that's a hallucinate Colossus.
Yeah, he does have that overseer there, so that's going to be good. Blinks up just to get that high ground vision on the... oh, really good force field here. He needs to make sure that he doesn't get blinding clouded.
One of the things, and this is what I've noticed, is that I've noticed that Zerg will quite often just simply do a move in an engagement. If you know you're going to lose most of the units anyway, at least have them do something while they're doing it, as opposed to just running through enemy fire. And I think that's that's something he shouldn't have done there. He lost 4 or 5 roaches in that when he could have just potentially pushed up. And these two armies effectively are missing each other. It looks like it's going to be some sort of base trade here of some kind, because Cute's whole army is at the 5th of top, and top is just kind of like, whatever, you're in my base, I'm going to yours, homie.
Oh, he recalls back. He recalls back. So he actually gets a base for free and then recalls before Top is really able to do anything. Cute is taking this engagement really, really well. But I think a lot of the Stalkers here are a little bit trapped. He's going to have to blink them all out.
Oh, that's funny. That's actually kind of hysterical.
Oh, he blinks them out. Nice. Okay. So...
oh wow, and here's a field of corruptors, by the way. That right there, my friend, would be a dozen corruptors, maybe a baker's dozen. That is just a straight dozen. What is he doing? He decided to kill some of his roaches to go ahead and free up some supply apparently here.
It is a baker's dozen, actually. You are entirely right about that. But it looks like Cute is going to start engaging on creep here a little bit. Needs to be really careful, get those hallucinated Phoenix Colossus at the front to make sure that they don't get pulled by the Vipers, but also just make sure that the Templar are ready to fire here. They do have Storm, and they also have feedback. Feedback, obviously.
By the way, do you see what Cute is making? Or sorry, what Top is making? Brood Lords.
Yeah, that's gonna be great against this composition.
Oh, this will be absolutely fantastic. And over here, sorry, I had to itch my eye, guys. There was a brief engagement over here that partially killed a pylon, but mass recall is strong with this one, my friends.
Yeah, it does recall back there, so he's going to be able to save his base. Get the base for free, basically.
Where the hell is the spire at? Oh,
no wonder
I didn't find it. It was underneath the overlords here at the natural. That's why I didn't see it. I couldn't tell it apart from the overlords. Oh, this engagement.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, these broodlords are going to wreck some face if they don't quite have the wide angle. Oh, he misses with both storms. That's unfortunate. What a waste of a storm.
He has to blink directly under the broodlords. That's blinks. Huge blink back. He needs to feedback the Vipers and then get directly under. Oh, good feedback on the Vipers. Good storm there, but still the Broodlord's doing so much damage.
Oh yeah, and a blinding cloud thrown down, and now suddenly this once formidable army is now. Oh, he does manage to pull a hallucinated Colossus. Suddenly these Broodlords are doing their work overtime. I mean, they managed he managed to lose about half his Stalkers that engagement, but if they don't actually...
Oh, big blink forward there. Get one of the Broodlords for free, but there's so many Broodlords here. And this is the problem when you're playing Protoss and you just let the Zerg get way too far in tech. If you're going for this type of composition, you cannot let them get to Broodlords.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what the thing is? The blink forward was great, but unfortunately the Hydras and Roaches were positioned beautifully, and these guys, Broodlords, briefly they're spread out so that no single storm can take them out. But unfortunately, Q now finds himself on the ropes. He pulls his workers back from that 4th all the way to his main, and it looks like they may re-expand somewhere over here on the southern part of the map, but unfortunately, this 4th is going to go down, and it temporarily supply blocks him as he does it. Wow, he's now 10 supply blocked. And what looked like a hopeless situation for Top has completely turned around by the presence of Broodlords.
Yeah, definitely. And the Broodlings just doing so much damage.
And what's this? What do we see? Oh, you and I have not casted one of these in a while. Oh, it's not a base trade. It looked like it was going to be, but it looks like, Top is going to take the conservative thing and be like, no, look, I did the good damage. Let's not overstretch myself. I've got a base attack. Let's go fix this problem.
Yeah, he's going to go back and try to take out the rest of the Protoss army. There's no recall with this army. That's the thing, right? Protoss does not have a recall right here, so he's going to have to be a little bit more conservative with his attack. Looks like a small Roach Hydra hit squad is gonna try to do damage. Oh, huge storm, good feedback. The Broodlords are stuck. The Broodlords are trapped. There's not a lot of ground army. The Stalker's actually focusing down. An Archon being made. All the Broodlords are gonna die.
Oh my God. He like Top was totally not expecting to see that army in that position. His Vipers were out of position. I thought they were moving forward actually to abduct the Colossus, but that was not the case. And now suddenly this expeditionary force of Roaches and 1 or 2 Hydras in this base, which were hopefully going to be the savior, are now seriously threatened. And this is the bulk of his army. I mean, they got some good work done. They managed to stop mining at the 3rd, but now all the Stalkers blink forward, and this force is in trouble. It does manage to snipe the Cyber Core, which is a nice put down, but now he can't make Stalkers. He rebuilt his Robo and another Gateway, but he doesn't have a... Where is it? He doesn't have any...
The Cyber Core is being rebuilt right now, but he can still warp in Templar, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. He does have the Templar archive, so... and in this sort of situation, you do sort of want to be making Templar anyways, but just a massive supply lead for Cute and a massive army supply lead, so... He's marching over. He wants to win this game. There's still 4 Broodlords. A lot of static defense being made. Blinks forward just to check it out. But there's not enough ground army, I think, to really defend against this Colossus Templar Stalker force.
No, you're right. I mean, he does throw down a massive spine crawlers, but these are getting evaporated as fast as they do. The Storm goes down, evaporates some of the Roaches in the front. The Broodlords do what they can, but you know what? Storm versus Broodlord, not what you want to do. However, Stalker versus Broodlord picks off 1, picks off 2, picks off a 3rd, picks off the 4th. And now, how has this been turned around? Wow, this has been crazy. A Corruptor pops out and dies instantly. 2 Roaches are holding the front.
GG.
Wow.
Oh my God. Cute taking the game. Very high-level play from Nocturne's Cute. As well as Top. I want to give him credit, right? He stayed in a lot longer than I thought. I thought he was getting wrecked. He came back to take very effective fights with that Broodlord composition. Got caught a little bit out of position in the middle of the map there, and then eventually did lose the game. But I just want to give a little bit of credit to Top for sticking in there so long, and Cute taking the game. Wow.
Yeah, that was very surprising. And what I think cost them there was that engagement sort of after both players were crippled. So the thing is that Protoss lost his Cybercore and his Robo. You know, he had lost production on 2 bases, and then Zerg came back, and Top came back and was like, all right, I'm moving the guys back. I'll leave a small expeditionary force in the base just to chip away at whatever Q's got there. And unfortunately, he A-moved and took a bunch of storms to the face and Colossus lasers, and when he lost the main bulk of his army and that initial Broodlord force, that was the tipping point, I think, in that match, because he wasn't able to produce units fast enough to compete with whatever was left over with Cute's Protoss army, despite its weakened state.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Definitely do agree with you. So, you know,
also, thank you, Sid in Space. Thank you for the follow. Awesome. Glad you guys are here. Also, make sure you pop over to Pluto's stream, which is twitch.tv/sc2Pluto, and give my fellow caster homie here a follow also. We like to know that we're doing what you like.
Okay,
let me get back in the ESL chat. There we go.
And by the way, thanks to Cuddle Bear for the follow. I don't know if that showed up or not. I wasn't paying attention, but sometimes you don't hear it. Cuddle Bear is going to be one of the players in this tournament right now. He's vetoing with Kirk, and I think we can be jumping into that game next.
All right. Let's see here. I want to make sure that the... Do that. Do that. All right, let's go back. Now, I need to check one thing over her. You guys are listening to the Monster Cat stream here. Did I tell you that I think they that Twitch muted one of my streams even though I was using Monster Cat?
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I can't hear the music. I can't hear the music in the background. You know, obviously because it's been muted. And so I appealed it, and I asked them, like, hey, look, was I playing Monster Cat, or what was the song that you guys identified? Because I'd know right away if it was one that I was playing, like, personally. But they muted, actually, the first part of our ESL Open last week. When you and I first started casting for some reason. I'm like, I didn't have music playing, I don't think, during the first part of the tournament. So, but I know Twitch will block it, like, for a half-hour block. So if I had it, they will start from that point, and they'll block, like, something like 10 minutes before it and, like, 20 minutes after it. Yeah. Because that's one of the Twitch, what is it, the Twitch appeals people Rocky and I got into an email chain, and I asked like the criteria so that I knew what to do to avoid that and why was it so severe. So if you guys do Twitch, make sure you find Twitch-approved songs, and be aware that even if you only play like 2 minutes of a video or something that's copyrighted, that they will mute a half an hour of your stream. So if you only have a half an hour stream, you've just lost your entire stream effectively. The video still plays, but not the audio.
But it's still, you know, not really like, it's only gonna, the rebroadcast is only gonna see on Twitch for a couple of weeks, so you definitely want to get that uploaded on YouTube if you want it to stay past the whatever 30-day deadline they have or whatever. So we're gonna be hopping into a game between Cuddlebear and Kirk.
All right, Cuddlebear and Kirk. Kirky Worky.
And they said they used to be teammates, so should be a very good game. Along the rest of the bracket, we have RSM versus Nexa, Game Time versus Dakan, and then Cute versus Alcester, Kirk versus Cuddlebear, Drunken Boy versus Colacolin. What is that?
Let me go look at it. Let me go look at that ish, my bish. Let's see here.
Cola Colonel, something like that.
Hold on, who are you looking at? Who's the other player?
Drunken Boy.
Drunken Boy. I just passed him. I'm gonna call him. I don't know. I think what it is, those are initials because that's not a word in English.
Yeah.
Cola.
Cola.
Colacanal. Yeah, that's all syllables. I don't know. Type it in Cyrillic. Maybe in Russian it makes more sense.
Very possibly. He is Russian, right? What is that flag? Is that
no, that's.
France?
I think. Dude, that might be Russian. It's because what it is like France and Russia's
Netherlands.
Flags. Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah, France, Russia, and Netherlands flags like all look real similar. Like they're like, what is it like? Russia's is like the inverse of the French flag or something like that.
And then like one of them is like vertical, one of them is like horizontal.
Yeah, like I give up. Like I don't know what the European nations are like. Guys, what are we gonna make it? Well, let's make it red, white, and blue with bars on it. Well, isn't that like X, Y, and Z's flags? Yeah, but just like I don't know, make it diagonal. Okay. Now we got great country name. We haven't decided yet. Flag. You know.
You think this is bad flag?
You think this is bad flag? 5 other countries have this flag. It's a popular flag. We do popular flag.
And looks like Revolution versus Ward. Allison's still waiting on his match, and Mr. Stork still waiting on his match. So yeah, we're getting along in this tournament.
That we are, and some of these matches are actually fairly strong. Like Revolution and Ward, that's a very interesting match. We've casted both of them individually, but not together. And actually, it looks like Revolution took out the Walrus, and Ward took out Zerg Cola. And I'm sorry, but like I totally and Zerg Cola that's New Zealand's flag. Is that what that flag is? I think it is. It's like it's a blue background, but it's got the British flag like crammed up in the corner.
Australia.
That's Australia? I thought that might have been... Well, Australia and New Zealand, I don't think we can tell the difference as Americans, right?
They're the same country. They're the same... Actually, everything other than America is just the same place.
Well, and you know what the thing is? That, like, what is it? They call it, like, Oceanasia or something like that? So, like, they lump in, like, Thailand, like, New Zealand, Australia, like, all those countries that aren't Japan, China, or Korea.
Yeah. Looks like Cuddlebear's getting in game here, so you should probably get an invite.
I need to do... Where is it at? I'm gonna copy my own thing here.
So Dipwood actually losing to Alster. That's interesting. Dipwood is a very strong opponent. We got a couple of Canadians in this.
Canadians.
And, okay, looks like we both got in game. So a couple Canadians, a couple Brazilians, a bunch of Americans, one person from the Netherlands, and one British person. So
I work for a company that's owned by the Netherlands government. So
that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
So I guess I'm gonna root for the Netherlands guy just because I've never seen a Netherlands StarCraft player. So go for the little tiny country in Europe player.
Live streamer can't use that. What does he mean?
Live streamer can't use that.
What is live streamer?
I don't know. What are you seeing?
Interesting. It was in the ESL chat. AGCL said live streamer can't use that. No idea what that means, but you know what? I don't care because we are in game and we're about to cast a great TVZ.
And it's frozen. Did it just lag on you?
Yeah.
Looks like it's Cuddle Bear. Oh, this will not be
Okay.
good. He's got a little bit of lag. Are we referees? Are we refs or just obs?
We're refs.
We're obs. Oh, no, I can type all. I can type all, so we're refs.
Okay, it looks like the lag did stop here, so hopefully... Can we restart?
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to restart. Yeah, if he misses SCVs at the beginning of the game, that can definitely screw yourself up. Good thing we didn't even do it.
8-second delay, because I don't know if you saw that, but like when it finally announced like how long he was lagging, it claimed he was at 52 seconds left, which means he'd had an 8-second lag.
Yeah. He'd been lagging for some time, probably since like the beginning of the game, so interesting, but hopefully he will fix that. And
Alright, well we will try a second attempt of this, and this is the this is the quarterfinals? No, round of 16. No, it is the quarterfinals, right? I never get this. Yes. No.
It's a round of 16.
Sorry, I always confuse like if it's a round of 16 or not, because I'm terrible at these things. I'm like, I know the quarterfinals, there's only 2 rounds left, but does that mean there's 8 players?
It's quarters is best of 8, or round of 8, and then round of 16 is this match. So round of 16, and then quarters is next, and then semis and finals. So
and keep in mind, folks, this is a best of 3 in round of 16.
Yes.
So we will be watching 3 games, not just 1. So we'll get an actual series here. We'll get some drama for you guys.
Yep. For sure. For sure.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
For sure.
You know, I always think of that from Superbad, because that's what he does when he's flirting with the girl. She's like, can you get the booze? He's like, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I'm like, okay, dude. All right.
I don't think that's working the way you think it's working. But
it's like, you know what? She's a lot cuter than you'll ever be, dude.
Damn right.
All right. In our upper right, the other right-hand corner, the left-hand corner, as it is commonly called colloquially, it is our Terran player in green. It's Cuddle Bear.
Let me go and get the zoom-in animation. In the bottom, the yellow Zerg player from Team Dust. It is Kirk.
By the way, Kirk's logo is like really cool. Have you seen it? Like from Dust? It's like this little tiny baby devil that's like spewing out smoke, and it says Dust.
Yeah.
Kirk that's a really cool logo.
Name? The Walrus also plays for Dust.
Oh, you know, I didn't catch the logo. What they had last time, but still,
yeah,
I like that.
It's a super cool logo, and I'm not sure exactly how they. Oh, why is my brackets command not working in chat? Brackets? Oh, that's what it is. Brackets.
Oh, God, you're a terrible human being. You can't even. Can you even bracket, bro?
Can't even bracket. So let's see what these players want to do. And I'm not sure how Dust chooses which players they want on their team, but I know the Walrus and I know Kirk, and those are the only 2 people I know who are actually on Team Dust.
Yeah, they. I don't know. Maybe you. Your thing is you have to win a tournament. That would suck as like a requirement, because tournaments are so iffy. Like you very rarely get like a dynasty of an individual. You know, someone who's like, I've won 10 tournaments in a row. Like MC did it for a while. I mean, he was like literally. I mean, he earned the most money in StarCraft. Period. Like as an individual. And I'm gonna rattle this number off. I think it was close to about $500,000 over his 5 years.
It was about 500K. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is? You guys are like, oh, $500K? That's like nothing compared to like NFL salaries. I'm like, you know what's funny? So you'll see these like crazy like $100,000 winner tournaments or $250,000 tournaments for things like LOL. That's split between several people. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with like those large prize pools. I think it's awesome that it's like, you know, we got a $5 million prize pool for esports. Great. That's awesome for esports as a whole. But for a single player on any of those teams to actually do it, I don't know. Those teams have rotating rosters a lot of times. You know, players leave and switch to go to other teams. Maybe that team they go to isn't as strong. Whatever it is. I don't see it where you see a single player with that much money. Now, I'm not saying there aren't them out there, but it's rare.
Well, Dota. Well, only Dota tournaments have more than StarCraft tournaments, to be honest. Because the international for Dota this year, $16 million prize pool or something like 15 million or something.
For the main final.
No, that's the entire prize pool. The main gets like the first place prize gets like 5 million or something.
The team does.
Yeah, the team does. So split among 5 people, that's still like $1 million each, right? Which
Which
I mean,
unfortunately in American dollars is about $500,000 anyway because we tax the living shit out of that.
yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Like the thing about Dota is like you don't have as much of a split among different tournaments. Like StarCraft WCS splits among several different tournaments, right? So you're like, oh, BlizzCon has like 100K for first place or whatever. That's also if you have to take into account like multiple other tournaments in WCS.
So it's like the very individual season thing.
Yeah, it's like qualifying to BlizzCon in and of itself will net you this much money.
Yeah.
As we see the Reaper trying to do so much, a little bit of work here. Other Dust players include the Walrus, Psyarch, Spectre, the actual Spectre player, not DJ Spectre, just Spectre.
No.
Spear and Alster.
You know what's funny? Up until I started streaming, my in-game name was Spectre.
Oh.
I changed it because like I was doing everything else, and I'm like, you know what? It's weird to be named after a unit in the game. I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool, like the word Spectre, and like we casted a guy named Ghost. Was cool, but I decided I had to change it. And these Lings try to get a start on the Reaper. They do manage to get the Reaper, and it is a Ling attack here, and they might actually hit. No, they don't go up the ramp. He does complete the wall off with his other orbital command here, but when these things turn into banelings, it's going to... Sorry, I don't mean to yawn. My apologies, people. He's researching Burrow, which is actually be kind of funny because he can turn all these into mines if he gets a baneling nest. Which does he have a baneling nest? No,
he's not going to get a baneling nest, but he is getting Burrow, which is interesting. And I mean, he will force a couple scans, and he's getting a Roach Warden now, so he's going to go back to droning and just sort of contain the Terran in his base right now. And I don't know. I like this idea. And he got a little bit lucky that Cuddle Bear scouted last. Oh, why is he trying to float it down? There's a bunch of Lings here.
He doesn't know that they're there. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, they're all burrowed.
Yeah, the one at the command center is burrowed, so he doesn't know it's there. The Hellions are going to try to push out more than likely, but there's something there. And they're like, well, what's wrong? Why can't I land? Oh, there must be this rock. I mean, and he doesn't have any scans. Oh, you know what? He doesn't have any scans to actually reveal it, and he doesn't have. Is he making a Raven? No, he's making a Banshee.
He needs to make a Raven.
Do this.
He needs to make a Raven.
He does scan, but that's that. Early in the game, you really need those extra minerals for these Hellions. Oh, and the Zerglings scout everything. They see the Banshee, they see the Hellions. Yeah. It's going to be a while before that Banshee gets there. More than enough time to put up spores, and that's exactly what you see. You see one in the natural, you see one in the main. The third one isn't built yet to have creep, although he could preemptively put one there if he put an Overlord there and puked creep in the mineral line, but he hasn't thought to do that.
And he's going to do a little bit of a counterattack with these Lings. Perhaps get the bunker. Okay, chooses not to, but he has Borlings, or Roaches rather, coming across the map. He's going to burrow the one that the Banshee was targeting. So that's actually pretty cute there. And does he have burrow movement for the Roaches on the way? No, he does not.
By the way, guys, I'm sorry that wasn't full screen. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. It's full screen now. Sorry, people.
You need sc2 scene switcher. It's so useful.
Well, what I need to do is I actually need to have a single key for my hotkey to do that. I have 3 keys.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, and I did it because I don't want to do it like my F keys because that affects the game itself. So I do like Control Shift Z and X, and those are my hotkeys to flip between the two. The problem is that X, when I'm in a game, loads all my command units into the command center, and at the start of this, it zooms out all the way. But this Roach Force, I mean, yeah, okay, the Banshees are going to have to be the saviors here because there is no way that just Marines are going to do it. Now, granted, there is a bunker which will help, but the bunker's going to be out of position as these Roaches are just kind of like toddling away. Thankfully, he's built turrets here, and that's been able to at least reveal them. So the Banshees are going to end up being the hero here, getting 3 kills, 4 kills apiece.
Oh, the other two Roaches are not actually burrowed in range of the turret, so he's going to have to make another turret here. Incredibly annoying, but he's going to try to get a kill or two. I think he can 1 or 2 shots. Oh, it actually forces another scan. So I think they've even paid for themselves. I mean, it's arguable whether or not they were actually worth it to do that attack, but I definitely think they paid for themselves here. All of a sudden, Kirk has taken a pretty massive supply lead. Actually, not that massive. It's only about 10, but he's about 10 probes ahead, and that's going to be very, very helpful going into the mid and late game.
Yeah, and he's also got a wall here. So these Hellions that are out here, they're going to be able to attack the Queen, but that's it, because there's nothing at the third here. So his main and his natural are, for the most part, I guess, yeah, I mean, his main and his natural are protected, basically. You know, there's no way that they're going to get out. I mean, these Hellions are going to be here just for a little bit of pokey fun, but they can't get in. Oh no, he pulls the queen! He pulled the queen! Oh! Amazing timing on moving that other queen forward. That thing arrived just in the nick of time. He puts a second queen back there to potentially help with transfuses or to reinforce that wall. Great work, actually, by Kirk. And these Hellions, unfortunately, get to go back with a sad face. These people will not be getting annual bonuses.
Base. While everybody was focusing on that Hellion harass, the Banshees actually killed an entire base here. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. But you know what? Now there's 3 queens there, so they can inject the creep.
They can transfuse the base that was about to die.
Yes, but they were. I think that's actually what he was doing.
Transfusing?
Yeah, no. That's why the one queen moved out of position, because he was moving it over to transfuse the the third. But unfortunately, he had to pull it back because of the Hellions running in. Yeah, these Banshees are more than patient themselves.
Yeah, the Banshees have done great, and canceling that third base puts Cuddlebear in actually a very good position. He's getting his tanks. He's getting his tanks out now, getting another starport with a reactor now, and building more barracks, getting his production up, getting that armory, and transitioning to mid game. But Kirk has crazy map vision. Have you seen this guy's map vision? It's like the entire map.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, that is kind of like nuts. I mean, well, he's got all the entry points and he sees all the bases. He's puking creep actually, at the one base, which is nice.
Banshee's actually doing work in the main. They're going to be able to one-shot drones now.
Yeah, and the thing is that these 2 Banshees combined have got 16 kills between the 2 of them.
That's
and,
insane.
The one is undamaged. It hasn't gone back for repairs. It's just sort of sat there. He doesn't have a cloak though, which is something he's got to be careful of. He's got to treat these like phoenixes and really keep them out of the way.
Yeah, they're like paper airplanes, and looks like Cuddlebear's trying to take another base, but the Overlord just pooping creep. Really just forcing the command center not to be able to land there. And the Marines go out to try to deal with that, and the Lynx actually unburrow. So cute. And he's forcing another scan. That's it's so great. Like everything that Kirk has been doing, it's like it all adds up. Like he's forcing scans over and over and over again. And that was actually really nicely done by Cuddlebear to attack his own Hellion in order to kill the Zergling there with the splash damage. So finally he's going to be able to land his command center, but not
it's going to take a while. The creep has got to disappear. This isn't going to be able to land for at least another like 30 seconds or so, because it takes a while for creep to disappear.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Oh, don't start that, Pluto. I'm doing the same thing. Oh, no.
I'm tired now. I don't know how. It was you yawning first. You yawned earlier, and now I'm yawning.
Oh, okay. I'll
accept
the blame for that one. I'll accept the blame for that one. But it looks like he's decided to do long distance mining, like literally like a quarter of the map here from his base, because he's like, I can't land it, but I'm going to try. So now the base can actually be landed. It'll have a nice 2 good mules there if it wants to. And this, this Roach Hydra mix that we now see here is actually not going to do very well versus this Marine tank mix. Like, the Roaches actually, if the Roaches kill the tanks, I believe, Kirk will be in a good position, because that's the only armor-dealing damage that Cuddlebear really has right now. Because the Marines pretty much will evaporate. I mean, the Marines are 1-2 weapon or armor versus weapons, but unfortunately the Roaches are 2-2. And he does manage to get 1 Roach in. He spots what's up there, but it's not quite on the high ground, so can he actually see that? He can at least see the composition, but not where it's located.
Up until very recently, the Terran player was up on army supply, and you know what? Did you actually notice that Kirk got Overlord speed? He's gonna do a massive drop with this with Overlord speed here.
I'm
That's
happy with this.
Cool.
Oh, I'm so happy with this. Look at this, Pluto. Name one game that you and I have casted that have had drops from Zerg ever.
Never.
And look at this. He's scanning everywhere, but he's not in the right place. There are no turrets in the main. Oh my god, he's going to get everything for free. The army is way out of position, taking a fake engagement here. Holy cow, he has no idea he's getting rained on. It's Overlord Palooza. There are Hydras and Roaches in the main. They're like, how in the hell did he get here? However, he does need to move these Overlords, because these are not medevacs. They do not boost away. And it looks like he's just said, screw it, I'm going in. Well, I know where the army's at. They're not out here. So let's go. Stim, run, kill. And it looks like we have a base race on our hands, Pluto.
Yeah, a little bit of a base race. Cuddlebear doing a lot of work in the natural. A lot of these overlords are actually getting taken out by the turrets in the natural. But the it's gonna be a full-on base race, and we'll see who's gonna be able to do more damage. I think Cuddle Bear definitely has a very strong army here that is going to be hard for Kirk to engage head on. But as long as you're base racing, you don't really have to engage. You just have to make sure you get drones out. And Kirk is just building more spine crawlers and trying to stabilize.
Oh, his third. No, this is it. Unfortunately, there's no way because Kirk has spread out his army and has killed all the command centers, or is going to. There's only 2 left, and they are critically low on health. There is going to be nothing left here. There's one being built, but it dies. He doesn't have any. He's got a bunch of workers down here, and he needs to build a base now before he gets revealed.
Well, he has another base actually being built in the back, but you're right that Cuddle Bear doesn't have a base. Cuddle Bear is at 3,000 minerals though, so he can actually. I'm not sure what he's repairing, but he's slowly losing minerals. He can rebuild a base somewhere. The problem is, everywhere that his SCVs are right now has creep. Oh, he's gonna build it in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, I noticed that it's way down there. The thing is, though, that's a good spot. I mean, it hasn't been scouted, but you know what the thing is, though? That Cuddle Bear has got random buildings. Like, he's got an extractor and 3 spines sitting... Well, I guess the spines don't count towards buildings, but he's got an extractor sitting over here, and he's got a random medevac that's scouting. But I don't think that this army can take this Roach Hydra force. I don't know. Like,
I'm not sure. He does have all of his SCVs.
I mean, it is possible, but he doesn't have the... Well, he does now. He does have the income, right? So... He's going to be able to put out something. He's going to make tanks.
Doesn't have production though.
Well, he doesn't have something. He's only at 80 supply. I mean, he's got over here where his new base is. He's got a bunch of depots being built, but he hasn't decided to make more.
He needs a lot more. He needs a lot more.
Yeah.
He's only, or actually not that many more, but he needs more. And he might take an engagement, and if he does, then he's going to lose enough supply that he can, actually do things. But he's gonna, if he wants to take an engagement, he's engaging into like a bunch of spine crawlers and a Roach Hydra force that is larger than the Terran's army. His only saving grace, whatever that might be, is the fact that he has 4 tanks here as well as his SCVs.
Yeah, you know what he could do, actually, to be honest? What he could do is... Oh, never mind. I didn't see that Kirk had expanded here over at, I guess, what would be the lower left's third base.
Yeah, he's gonna have 2 bases of economy and production.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he doesn't have any detection to be able to clear these creep tumors, so Kirk knows exactly where this Terran army is, and he can't see the double factory starport thing going on down here, but he knows where the army is, so what he's going to do is he's going to set up shop with these tanks to try to protect it. But it's going to be tough. I mean, he sends some of the workers forward to absorb it, but I think it's a bad idea. He really needs to take one of the medevacs and take those workers and fly them back over to this new base of his. I mean, he's got the medevacs, he's got the vision. He needs these SCVs to really be mining right now because that big lead he had in income, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, and he's scanning forward to use the tanks to take out some of these spine crawlers, some of the static D. Very long range on those tanks, so he will be able to eventually take those out. But I don't know. As Kirk, I don't think you really ever want to engage this army. You just want to sit here and sort of try to contain. And there's marauders actually being made across the map for Cuddle Bear. He has 3 barracks with tech labs in his main, and a single roach is going to come over here, try to attack that, and probably going to find these marauders and not have a very happy day. No, but a little bit of engagement. Oh, a huge engagement actually, and the roach is getting right on top of the tanks, getting one of the tanks for free. The second one goes down. Has he done it?
No,
I think Kirk.
Maybe he has. I think this is it. I think he's borked here. I don't see how I can win this. Like, he was only able to make roaches that entire time, and there was no real anti-armor for Cuddle Bear because he had his tanks too far forward, and he didn't have an ability to scan to get rid of this creep tumor over here. So, like, Kirk knew exactly what was going on, and what Cuddle Bear doesn't realize is that there's another base right here.
Yeah, there's 2 bases, which he probably doesn't know about, but Cuddle Bear just trying to get his production back up, making factories in his new main base, which is the bottom left-hand side. And this really needs to be scouted by Cuddle Bear. Cuddle Bear needs to start by Kirk. He needs to start spreading his overlords around to try to scout out where his opponent's bases are. GG.
Oh, he decides that's it. Yeah. I mean, that was really tough. I really think that Cuddle Bear had that. But what killed him is, so he had a nice bank of minerals, right? He had a very good bank of minerals. But what killed him in the end was the fact that he didn't get his workers out to build the command center. He did get one out to build it, but he decided to build another command center right in his main where the heart of the attack was. And while it was nearly finished, he should have canceled it to give himself a little bit of extra minerals. Now, would that have mattered with 4,000 minerals? Yes, because he could have built a couple of extra racks. He could have sent the SCVs he had with his main army by medevac to his new base, dropped them there, and then reactored some barracks, which he had more than enough time to make. And then what he did was, even though, Kirk could only make roaches, he was making a lot of roaches because he managed to get 2 expansions up,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I agree with you there. Definitely, even if he had sent out and taken just like a random map or a random base in the random part of the map before the base races had happened, he would be in such a great position there.
Yeah, and I think the straw that broke the camel's back that was kind of like a non sequitur there was that he didn't have any detection. He had no way to clear those creep tumors.
He had one Raven. I think he would have not lost a bunch of things randomly throughout the game.
Yeah, and the thing is that creep allowed that final attack there, the backbreaker, to basically work, because what he was able to do is Kirk was able to see, okay, he's got 3 tanks. Here's their exact positions. Take this small group of roaches and attack this tank, and just literally move, attack. So literally he would just queue it up to attack the one unit. So it would move through all the Marines, and then he'd have the remainder of his roaches picking off the Marines, while the 9 roaches in groups of 3 would move forward and take out the tanks. So, yeah, just a couple of tiny things there that would have helped. And I know that saying, oh, you should have had a Raven. I did see you try to make a starport, but you also didn't have a command center, and if you had made a command center earlier or moved workers over, you could have had your scan perhaps sooner, because you would have had another orbital command. But either way, good game. A base race was awesome. Loved the Overlord drop. That was cool to see because you so rarely see that. Well played for both players.
Are you offline by any chance?
What the frack? Yeah, hang on. I didn't notice that till now. Sorry. Let me go back. Hello, I've returned. Sorry, my bad, guys. Didn't mean to delay it. We are going into game number 2.
Game number 2. So Kirk has a 1-0 lead right now for Team Dust. I mean, this is gonna be Coda. It's gonna be a little bit of a smaller map.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that Cuddle Bear has to do here to pull game number 2?
So Cuddle Bear had a very good composition. Going against Roach Hydra is easy. Now, the one thing was that his Hellions. Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, he wasn't expecting Burrow as the opening thing. So I guess I would say he's already going to need the infantry upgrades, because you're going to have to go Marine Marauder versus Roach Hydra anyway. So maybe getting a quick turret behind your bunker at your natural would help, because now we've seen the cuteness. It doesn't cost a lot. You're gonna need the engineering bay anyway for upgrades. And if he goes Ling Bling Muta, you're gonna want the turret there right anyway. So it's not necessarily bad to have those things. So maybe an early turret, but not necessarily before you expand, but maybe as you expand. Very fast stim. Definitely, you want to do that. If he does do Hellions, scout it first. Make sure there's not a wall. Otherwise, don't make the Hellions. Save the Hellions till something else. I mean, he doesn't get any of the Hellions in. He lost 2.5 Hellions in a push that did nothing. I mean, he went up and he headbutted a queen with it and then ran away. So I think that's what Cuddle Bear's got to do to get back in this. I think he's got to stick to standard game. He's got to understand that he's either going to see Ling Bling Muta right now, or he's going to see Roach Hydra, and both of those are countered with bio or bio plus mines, and that's not a very hard composition to transition into, right?
Yeah, and another thing is that one thing, like you said, the Hellions did run straight into roaches and queens.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good idea. And also, I think Cuddle Bear can probably take advantage of the fact that this is going to be a 2-player map.
Oh no, I crashed out. My client just died. The whole SC2 client just puked on me.
I hate the client, man. It just has so much problems. So yeah. I guess it'll be I'll be casting by myself here in this game. That's okay.
Right.
But unless one of these guys also puked out. But
no, this wasn't a lag thing, because I couldn't figure out why the game was only like everyone was only at 20%. I'm like, that's not right.
Well, we're still at 20%. So.
All right. I hate to say it, but here's hoping you guys have a bad day.
And then you get back into the game.
Yeah,
Well,
I
like I
mean,
was saying earlier, this is a two-player map, right? So in the last game, we saw the long scout. It took forever for him to actually get across the map with his SCV and Reaper, and he didn't see the early links coming across the map, which did sort of trap him in his base for a little bit. In this game, he's not going to have that problem. He can send the Reaper directly across, and if he sees early links, he'll get that scout right away. It's not like he has to send an SCV across to see which base his opponent is at. So. Yeah, we're just going to be waiting here for a little bit while the client figures things out, figures that DJ is actually out of the game, and loads us all into there.
yeah, by the way, please give the players an apology. Like I said, this was not like a lag issue. It literally brought up the Windows error screen that said, do you want to check for errors, like, and send this to Microsoft or not? So my apologies for that.
Oh, they said they'll remake, so...
Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. By the way, love to the players. I know you guys enjoy being casted, but we wouldn't have anything to cast unless you guys are here. So really, it comes down to you guys playing, so thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, we wouldn't have anything to cast if they weren't playing. So thanks to them, and it was just like a second into the game. Said no. Cuddlebear says, "I think I cursed it."
Well, you know, one of us, like, we have to like remake every map now. So if there's a game 3, we just have to wait 5 seconds, tell the players, you know what, we have to have a remake here, otherwise it wasn't a real series. By the way, I am back in the NA chat. I see the invite. You would send that right when I'm throwing out my bro can.
Broken.
Well, no, it's like empty, and I'm like, I want my desk like semi-clean. Like, okay, I've got a few things, like, like my passport sitting there. I've got a couple of computer doodads there, but I mean, otherwise it's rigged for gaming, bro.
Yeah.
And apparently my cat has somehow got something sticky on my desk. Pepper, you will die later on today.
I will end you.
You know what's funny? Her tail is so big, it's like a Swiffer duster. So I jokingly tell her, like, when she sits down and does something bad, I'm like, you know what? One of these days, I'm just gonna turn your tail into a scarf.
Damn, that's harsh.
Hey, bro, I told you I bro hard. Anyway, hey guys, by the way, hey, the game crashed, but my stream didn't, so yay! I just jinxed that too, but whatever. Anyway, so before I say anything else and bork us any further, hold on. Anyway, on the right-hand side of the map, we have currently down 1, but as currently our underdog story, it's our Green Terran, it's Cuddlebear.
And in the top left-hand side, winning game number 1, it's Team Dust's Kirk. Now, yes, so Cuddlebear, like he was saying earlier, he says you're going to be top 10 in Legacy of the Void. Kirk does play that type of style. He really definitely likes that type of style.
He wants to see what he can do in Legacy. You know what Zerg does in Legacy? They take 11 bases. End of story.
Yeah.
I got into a really long match in Archon mode where, like, literally we had one, like, Terran had one side of the map, and the Zerg had the entire other side of the map, and it was literally like a yin-yang because the way the creep was on the map, like, it literally formed one side, and then, like, our planetary attempt, like, was forming the bottom. It was really cool. We eventually lost that match, but it was still very, very even-handed as far as even bases on even bases. But, all right, so you asked, what does Cuddlebear need to win? Now, what does Kirk need to close out this series, Pluto?
What does Kirk need?
Yeah, what should he do? What should he do to just clinch it and just, stuff Cuddlebear here?
He likes to play his style of, like, aggression, right? He likes to have a lot of lings and aggress across the map. I just want to say that again. That's the greatest phrase ever. And he likes to get
You know what that is? No, next time, it's not going to be attack. It's like, look, they're aggressing each other.
Just slowly aggressing. Trademark on that word. That's the greatest thing ever.
Hype.
Yeah, it looks like apparently there's a player called Love who left Team Dust. But
well, apparently there was no love lost there. Ha! That was a Rossburst joke. Yeah, that's what you get for having me on your stream, Pluto. Sorry.
Hashtag worth it.
Hashtag not full screen. Damn it. You know what? I'm going to have to take a drink or something retarded every time I not full screen it. Anyway, however, we do see something cheeky out of Cuddlebear. Did you notice that he opened CC?
Oh, was that CC first?
Yeah, he put a
Oh,
depot,
boy.
CC, and then the barracks. But the
Well, he
CC
still got
takes
the
a lot
wall.
longer to build.
Yeah, it does. So that's why it ended up finishing around the same time. Looks like he's going to open with a Marine and not with a Reaper like I thought he would. But
I think what it was, he took his factory late too because he needed the money for the. But hold on. Oh, he's building the orbital first. Hold on. Why does he have the orbital rallied across the? Okay, there he changed the rally. For some reason, he had the orbital rallied to the the natural of Kirk, and I was like, "Are you gonna drop mules on him for like a scout? Like, what are you doing?"
can you drop mules when you don't have vision?
I don't think so. But the thing is, it's still funny because like you'll see people like in field repairs, they'll just drop mules around a Thor suddenly.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, really? I'm like, is that a thing? Like, are you going to send the SCV and then just drop a mule? I'm like, mules can't attack. Their whole thing is they're robotic and they just bring more minerals back. But
his actual plan is to just drop a bunch of mules and mine out the base before his opponent is able to sufficiently mine there. Have you seen that happen before? Like in a late game situation, it's like the Terran's like, oh, you're about to take this base that's very close to your base, like as your sixth or something. I'm just gonna get a bunch of vision, and drop like 100 mules so that the mules just mine out the base.
Well, you know what's crazy is, yeah, because they stack on top of workers, but they also stack on top of each other. And hold on, this depot is down. These Zerglings have a chance if he knows about it. Oh!
He doesn't know.
No, he doesn't. Unfortunately, he looks like he's doing the same thing with the Zergling opening here. And is he getting burrow? I don't have that. Yes, he is getting burrow again. So once again, my idea of having like at least one turret and an early eBay would have helped because it looks like Kirk is going to try the same trick again. He's probably going to go ahead and plant one at the expansion here, and then plant various ones throughout the map to gain vision. Now, granted, burrowed units don't get as much vision, but they give you something, and they're innocuous, right?
Yeah. That is true, and I mean, once again, going for the burrow, do you think he's going to go for the drop play again?
That was that's one of those things where you don't see it that often, that the player might not assume that you do it twice in a row. Like,
yeah,
it's very possible that he's like, nah, there's no way. Because it's so uncommon, you're like, he's not going to try that a second time. And I don't see it being researched right now, like, because he researched it fairly early last time. But he's, again, going for burrowed lings sitting outside the base, He's getting a Hellion over there so that they can roast it, but they're actually missing the Ling there, and the Ling is still at full health because he didn't target it correctly. Instead,
I don't think he wants to send a... I don't think he wants to scan... Oh, he does want to scan. So he does end up scanning, wasting another scan for that. He has one SCV coming on here to put that bunker down.
Yeah. He does not have the eBay yet, and that's going to greatly help him with this. I mean, is he making the Raven this time? No, again, he's going with the 1 port 2 Banshee build, and he's building a third command center to try to keep on par with the Zerg economy. But unfortunately, this just hurts your early game. I mean, it's very difficult to keep up with the Zerg base building. And now that there is, what does he have? He only has the Roach Warren. There's the Roach Warren, the Evo Chambers. Yes, I do not see anything else, but the Banshee here is going to help against us. The Hellions, they don't do any damage against roaches. Like, they do actually 0 damage. They do damage, I believe, against roaches.
We're going to shred this. They're actually just going for the workers right now. There's a empty bunker. He's going to salvage it. He knows he can't keep that there. Does end up salvaging it. 75 minerals.
That was very good and very close.
But he doesn't have any bio units.
No, and again, he doesn't have a Raven. He's gone with his 2-port Banshee. Mainly because of the fact he just doesn't. I mean, he's got the gas to make the Raven. Like, make the effing Raven. I can't speak. Make the effing Raven. There we go. Wow. That was really difficult.
The Raven's gonna be so good here, especially since he's burrowing individual roaches. He's really gonna have to scan, but he doesn't really have energy. I guess he has energy at his natural, so he can afford one scan, a single scan.
Yeah, and here it is. Now he's switching, and he's still not... Oh, no. What is he doing? He's moving the starport. He's building another barracks. I really think that was a bad idea. Like, unfortunately, I think this was a bad idea because, I mean, there's detection now in every base. These Banshees meant to surprise him are too... Actually, there isn't one. Hold on. The main doesn't have a turret. Yeah, it doesn't have any detection. No turret.
He's saving up energy right now, but he's going to lose more mules to the scan just because of 3 roaches. Very well done from Kirk. And you know what? He has even more Lings actually bird outside the base.
Yeah, and they have very limited vision. I mean, but the point is that vision is vision, man. I don't care what it is. If you can see something, that's great. And now he's going to use those to run in because there's nothing in the natural now. Like, there's a Marauder, and you know what the counter to Lings is? Not Marauders. So
no, not at all. There are a couple of Marines coming over here, but he burrows again. He burrows his Lings again. This is very nicely done by this burrow micro. I don't know how the Banshees are actually scouting.
High Psychoto tracking, maybe? Do they have the range?
Oh no,
they don't have the range yet.
They were just unburrowed, and it was just the turret.
Yeah, I mean, now he's making the turrets late, but he's spent... Pluto, how many attacks has he made on Kirk so far in this game?
0, I believe.
That's my point exactly. He hasn't done anything.
When you're not attacking across the map and keeping the when you're not attacking across the map and keeping the Zerg from just droning up, you're going to be very far behind economically, and you're just going to get wrecked in terms of production. But looks like the 2 Banshees here are going to try to come over and equalize something, but I mean, Kirk just really needs to have an Overseer coming across. Does he have one? He does not have an Overseer.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have an Overseer, but the range on the plant on the Spore is actually enough for the Queens to sort of do something. Maybe not pick off this this harassment of the Extractor. Oh no, it is. It is. He may actually get. No, it's close. He manages to salvage the one Banshee. What he really should do is actually put that one Banshee in the front because they're being focus fired. So you can put it behind it and let the fresh one there kind of take the hits. By the way, welcome Nikki B Red to the chat. Thank you very much for coming out and checking the stream. I remember you from before. Awesome. Good to see you.
Welcome. Looks like a Hydralisk Den on the way for Kirk. And Nikki, did you play in the tournament today?
Like I said, 90-second delay, so you will hear these questions later. Apologize if we're not getting you right away, but we have rules we gotta abide by. Looks like there is a drop now coming for our friend here, Cuddle Bear, who's trying to like, even things up. Yeah, he's trying
he's trying to avoid all the overlords and all the vision that Kirk has, but the vision is actually insane with overlords and burrowed units. He basically has the entire map scouted, and it's going to be very hard for this drop to get in here without being entirely scouted. There we go. The roaches are already in place to push that away.
Yeah, and he isn't able to do much. And there's like an Overseer now over here. I mean, there's creep in the middle of the map. He's got an Overlord covering the areas. He doesn't have creep. So, oh no, he starts dropping. This Roach Force is going to gobble up all these Marines because, like I said, the things that don't kill roaches, those would be Marines that are unupgraded, unfortunately. I mean, we do see some decent upgrades. He does have +1 attack, but unfortunately, there's +1 armor and +1 attack for the Roach army. So, I mean, it's really not going to do a whole lot for it. And +3, no, wait, sorry, level +2 is coming for those. So, and the +2 is actually coming for the missile attack so that the Hydralisks have a bit more potency.
So he, over here at this third base for the Terran player, Kirk actually not only pooped creep out with an Overlord, but he also burrowed a Link. So not only is the creep going to take a while to disperse, but also after that, he's still not going to be able to land because of the Link. And it's just so nice that he's doing all these little things to delay his opponent's build. Cuddle Bear is going to boost up into here, scouted by an Overlord, so there should be a reaction out of Kirk, setting a couple of his roaches into the main. No reaction just yet, and this could come back to bite him because there's going to be a drop here with a Marauder and a bunch of Marines trying to do some damage. The Queen focusing down the medevac now.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what the thing is? This is exactly what happened last game. Once again, there was a Ling and an Overlord preventing expansion of Cuddle Bear. And again, he didn't recognize this soon enough. He didn't think about it. Maybe he's nervous because he's casting. But, I mean, he's trying to do some damage. He finally is moving out. I mean, he's doing what he can. I mean, he lost 3 Marines and the medevac that was almost full. At least he didn't lose the full one, though. But the creep spread, though, is getting pushed back because of a scan. But, I mean, he just isn't doing enough. I mean,
the third base is actually going to get taken out. This is actually really, really nice. He gets that. He does get the third base, does lose all the units here. Actually, a couple of Marines do get out. But that's very, very nice that he got that third base. But you know what? He can't take his own third base because of this Ling here. He needs to drop a scan and actually, take that out. You know what else would be nice? He still has the Ling burrowed in the natural of Kirk.
Yes. Oh, he does? Where the hell is that thing? In the natural?
Yeah, in the natural of Cuddle Bear.
Yeah, I see it. You can barely see it because all the SCVs keep going over. But look,
there's 2 of them there.
This is a massive attack, and he's got tanks. He needs to siege him up now. I think he senses the roaches. He does see it. He sees the army. He's still got 2 tanks on siege. If he does not siege these things, this thing is over. And now Cuddle Bear realizes that his third actually has not been mining whatsoever. And the Hydras are going to take this out before it even gets to be useful. Oh my god.
You know what happens now? If he unburrows these Lings, the tanks will actually do massive amounts of splash damage to his own SCVs.
Yeah, that is true.
But it might not even matter. There's 130 army supply for Berserk player. All the SCVs being pulled actually to fight this, and is gonna push it back for now. But I don't know. I think the damage has been done for Kirk. He can definitely just keep reinforcing this and probably just win the game. He needs to start rethinking about taking his 4th base. Maybe if not, maybe in the corner, but there's a Banshee there to prevent it. So we'll see if that ends up being effective.
I mean, he does take a 4th. I mean, Kirk does take a 4th base, but this army here is just not doing well. I mean, he could get a little pincer attack here. I'm sorry, Cuddle Bear could, but he's out of position, and the rest of his units are too far away. So unfortunately, this attack he's going to have to save himself and retreat to his own base with these 2 medevacs here. But he still is not able to take a 3rd. Forcing a tear on 2 base economy is difficult. His main is basically mined out. His natural is, well, not quite oversaturated, but it's almost oversaturated. It's over-efficientized. I'm sorry, it's oversaturated, but not at full efficiency. Now it actually is, because now he's at 25 and 24. So,
yeah.
I mean, this massive oh, wait a minute, is he going to try it again? Do you see this Overlord coming across the screen?
I see all the Overlords coming across. He has Overlord speed, and there's really nothing in the main except for a single turret, which is not going to be able to do enough damage. He's going to load up into all of these Overlords, go into the main and drop. And these Overlords are surprisingly fast after they have speed. And
oh no, look at this. This is just brutal. And one Overlord actually goes straight to the front. And here it is. Cuddle Bear knows it. He pulls half his workers, he pulls his Marines, but he's got a tank that's actually stopped there. So what he does, he actually waits until his units are ready, so he's not all choked coming up the ramp. He sends what he can in. The tank in the back is actually doing a fairly about, but he can't focus fire much of anything. He's got a mother... Oh no, he doesn't have another medevac. This is it. This is the last of Cuddle Bear's army.
And finally, Kirk is able to force a great engagement. There's 2 or 3 tanks at the bottom of the ramp. The rest of the SPs come off the line to fight. And the rest of the forces are actually engaging from the front. Kirk actually dropping even more Hydras out. And I think Kirk has done it. GG, well played out of Cuddle Bear. Kirk takes the game 2-0 and moves on to the quarterfinals.
Wow, and like I said, that was Kirk did the exact same thing over again. He did it a little bit slower, like he didn't quite do it exactly as we thought, but he did do it. He did do basically the same things. He denied the expansion, and I'm telling you, Cuddle Bear had to be thinking that expansion was working for him, and in fact it was not. So still, it was one of these things where if Cuddle Bear had seen, had not been like, he's not going to do that again. And that's what some of these tournaments do. I hate to say it, but so while you and I repeatedly talk about how best of 5s, or best of 1s are always like, well, someone does something cheeky and there's no real defense against it. Best of 3s are very similar, but in a different way. The best of 3 will allow you to go ahead and do the same thing twice in a row, because the mentality and the reverse psychology of it for your opponent is like, he's not